Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm taking a look at Sneaky Cards, Play It Forward by Gamewright Games. Now Sneaky Cards is a card activity, I wouldn't necessarily call it a game, that you play with the world, essentially. This is the original box, it is black. There is a 2.0 box that I also have that I don't have available to be on screen for this video. I think this is a pretty cool concept, in my opinion, and so that's why I'm featuring it on this video. As you can see, I've had this box for a while, and I've done most of the cards in here. And so, at the time of filming this, I just kind of want to do a slight little caveat. I'm filming this during the, what you would call the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, global pandemic or whatever, which this is probably the worst thing to show off on a channel given today's current pandemic climate. However, I just wanted to make a video anyways because I just want to get cool ideas out there, and I want to get these ideas out there of games or activities that feel like games or games that feel like activities or what have you. And so while this is probably not the best thing to run out and buy on Amazon right now, I do want you to just keep it in mind for the future, because it is pretty cool. And you can play this with, like I said, the world, your school, your coworkers, things like that. So let's get into exactly what this is, because I know you're wondering, well, what is this box even? So it comes with a bunch of cards. Like I said, I've done a good majority of them. As you can see, it comes full of cards. I'd say about half. I've done about half. And so this whole Play It Forward, as you see, thing here is, it's a card that allows you to do an activity. For example, this one says, take a selfie with a total stranger. When you take a selfie with a total stranger, you hand them this card. So if I were out at the grocery store and I saw someone who looked like they would be pretty cool and asked them, hey, can I just take a selfie with you, just being weird, and if they seem like they would be cool with it, I take a selfie with them, and then I give them this card kind of explaining that now they have to pass this card along to someone else. So they have to take a selfie with a total stranger and give it to that card or that person. But the real genius of the game is that you want to tell them to register your card. So you'll register your card first, and giving these numbers, you can track where your cards go. For those of you that have, at least in America, that have ever gotten those Where's George Ben, those dollar bills that you can type in and you can see, like, oh, this one started in Seattle and made it to this town, and it got registered here, and it got registered out in Pennsylvania, and now here it is in my town, and I have this dollar. So you can see where that dollar has been. It's the exact same concept. There is a website, you go in, you punch in this card's number, every card is unique, and I can see where this card has gone, provided that the next person registers their card and the next person registers their card. So it's kind of a activity that you play with the world, so to speak, your community. Which I said, as before, this is not the best game for the 2020 corona pandemic, but I'm taking the time to show it off anyway. So it comes with a whole bunch of cards, and they come in different categories. So as you can see here, blue is engage, and I'll be posting some of these in the video for cutaways. There's pink, there's purple, there's care. So here, I'll show off these two. So mission objective, create. So this is create a collaborative doodle. So I would doodle something on here. Maybe up in the little corner I would do maybe a sun. Just some sunlight or something. Or maybe down here I do a little animal or something. And then when I've done, I add an element to the space below and then pass this card along to someone else. So then I do a little doodle, and then I give it to a friend or family, or maybe it's just, if you want, a stranger, I guess, and just tell them like what this is about, tell them to add something to it, take it home, get out a Sharpie, add something to it, register the card, and give it to someone else. and then give it to someone else, and give it to someone else. And so again, all these cards are trackable, and so you track where they go. The green ones are really cool because they're about caring. They're about caring for other people. And so this one, as we've all probably seen or heard of at some point, buy someone coffee. Make someone's day better by buying them coffee. So I've seen this done like in drive-thrus where you buy like the coffee behind for the car behind you, or if you're in a coffee shop and you just want to have a stranger be like, I want to buy you coffee, you give them this card. Or if it's a coworker that you're out with, you can say, let me buy you coffee, and then you give them this card and explain to them, I'm kind of playing a activity thing. Register this card, please, and then pay it forward or play it forward, buy someone else coffee and give it to them, and then they can register it. And I have gone online a while back when I first got this one, the first box, and I have seen a couple of my cards go pretty far from where I am into neighboring states and stuff like that. Most of them, not to devalue the game, most of them stick around in the cities that I'm kind of located at, but a few of them have gotten to neighboring states in America, which is kind of cool. The blue ones are engage, like I said, are shown off. The engage ones are kind of doing stuff with people. This is like make a speech in an elevator with 3 people. Here's a code. There are ones that you can write in. This one I've written in. So this one says coin a new word or phrase. Invent a word or phrase and then write it down in the space below, along with its definition. Use it in conversation with someone, then give them this card. So I've come up with streets ahead. And the definition in it means to be greatly superior at a task or chore. And so if I were talking with a coworker saying something about, yeah, my girlfriend, sometimes she's just not streets ahead. Or when it comes to cooking, she's just not streets ahead. And now I've used it in conversation, and then I give it to that person. And now they have to start saying streets ahead in order to get rid of this card. And again, I know I'm repeating myself. All of them are registerable, unique cards. This one's really cool. Find a song that you like. Write down the name of it, the artist, pass it to someone else. That person will look up, or at least is supposed to look up that song on YouTube, I assume, or Spotify, listen to it, and then add a song of their own that they like. And then the next person will have 2 songs, so they'll listen to this whole kind of playlist, and by the end you'll have this whole playlist of songs that people have added, and so that's kind of grow. It's to grow in your musical experience or knowledge or music taste. Maybe there'll be a song down here, or the first one that you're like, that was a really great song. It's stuck in my head. And then turns you onto a band or a group or something that, it's really cool. Start the wave in a food court or cafeteria. The yellow ones are surprises. So the yellow ones are the ones that I have not. I think I have the most of the yellow ones, because they basically, you just leave them in hidden places for the most part. Like this is you hide in at a statue. And I have not, those ones just haven't appealed to me. This one you hide in a library in a book. So if someone ever checks out that book, they find this, then they have to hide it in another library book. They're great. All of these are great. I just have not, the yellows are not so much my forte. You can do the red ones, which are about connecting with people. You give this card to someone wearing the last item on your list, a pink tie. So if I ever see someone with a pink tie, I give this to them, and then they can write down, something, and it builds. The pink ones are the second ones that I have not really gotten into. I really enjoy the purple and blue ones, and the caring ones, the green ones. Hold the door open for 10 consecutive people. If you're ever at a big meeting, which of course, again, 2020 coronavirus, there would probably not be 10 consecutive people going into a building, but that's what that card is. I hold it for 10 people. The last person that I hold it to, I give them this card. I say, no, hey, you got to hold, you don't have to, but you're supposed to hold the door for 10 consecutive people and pass that card along. So, let me get back to the pink ones. The pink ones are usually creating things, which for me, I'm not quite so creative. I've done some of them, like I said, I've done about half the box. But like create a recipe, bake a cake for someone and drop it off at their workplace, write a haiku, and things like that. Memorize a poem. And so they're all just a bunch of cards that are activities, basically, of doing things for other people in different ways, connecting with them, growing, creating things, things like that. They just kind of go in this nice little box, and you can carry it around with you. I've had this one for quite a while. And so by Game Right Games, there's Sneaky Cards, and there's Sneaky Cards, I think it's just 2.0. It's a red box instead of a black box. And they both are on Amazon for about $10 each. And so it's kind of a cool thing to do. Maybe you can and you can split them up. If you have a husband or wife, you can give them some to give out to their work friends or coworkers. You have kids that they can take to high school and take selfies or whatever. So it's not necessarily just for you only, but if you have a family, you can have certain family members take certain cards. They're like, hey, I think I could hold the door for 10 consecutive people at my school. Here you go, little Johnny, or whatever, take this card. Track your cards, see where they go, see where they end up. If you end up with any cool stories, like one of them ending up in Madrid, Spain, or something like that, that would be awesome. And so there you go. This is probably the worst video to do at this particular time, or the worst game/activity for me to promote at this particular time, but at least it's done and it's there and you guys know about it. So hop on Amazon, they're really cheap. Pick this up now and give yourself something to do when the world gets back to being the world. So thanks for watching and checking out Sneaky Cards. I will see you guys all at the next video.